Uh,
So what's on Netflix?
so it shows that Monk is on Netflix, and we bring this up because Evan is very OCD. And if you guys have ever watched the show Monk,
Really?
yeah, really,
I am really
it's
OCD. It's bad.
Monk is actually it's a very good show, and they do some really good things with it. And they were kind of poking fun during COVID, um,
Oh, really?
where he was on a Zoom with a Zoom meeting with the former chief of police and the lieutenant that he worked with and his assistant, and they're on a Zoom call and somebody sneezed and he got nervous and he
Oh,
was
that's
all
funny.
worried about germs and stuff. So it was pretty funny. But Monk, if you guys haven't watched Monk, it's a great show. I think he won some Emmys for that, and he did a really good job. He handled it very well, and it looks like it might be on Prime as well. So I
How
think
long's
you
it been
can.
out for? Or been around? Isn't Monk been out for like a long time? It's like one of those.
Well, they did 8 seasons,
Yeah.
and but I can't remember how long it started. First episode, I'm looking up something here. First
2002 to
episode was
2009.
2002.
Yeah.
Yeah.
125 episodes. It's with Tony Shalhoub. I didn't even know how to say that name.
Very
Wow.
good, Shalhoub.
Shalhoub.
Excuse me. Yeah, Tony Shalhoub, and yeah, it's a good show. It's a very good show. He kind of reminded me. You don't remember Columbo?
Oh, he had the Columbo tactic, right? But I don't really remember that at
I
all.
I grew up watching Columbo.
Like Columbo said, like, what do you mean by that?
Well, he was a detective.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and he was funny because he was just kind of this quirky detective. And at the way they would do the show was they would show you the crime at the very beginning and how it happened, and then Columbo would come in and figure out the main suspect, and
Oh,
he
that's
would
great.
get them to basically confess. By the end of the show, he would just kind of he would just focus on that one person, and and he would just focus on that one person the whole episode. And the joke was he'd come back and excuse me, just one more question, and it was kind of funny. I enjoyed watching the show. I still enjoy watching it.
I sent Cameron a picture today, Greg. I've driven 118 miles on the Segway so far.
Huh. Does it show you
Yeah.
your miles?
You know, it keeps track of the miles. Like they have this stats log, and it shows the mileage, which I thought was actually kind of funny. So if you think about it, I've been saving some time. So I'm getting pretty fast. I've upped the riding sensitivity to like 53, then steering's at like 57. I'm getting pretty good at going up and down on the curbs on it now. So
Yeah.
just going faster and faster. But Cameron, he has the EUC, Greg. I'm not sure if you unboxed it yet.
Ooh. So Cameron already got one then, huh?
You got one that's a lot of miles. Yeah, and so I was riding. It was home tonight from picking up the Bobcat from you. There's a guy at 9 Mile and Farmington Road. He was at the light on the sidewalk. He had a UC. He was fully like decked out in like plastic like protection gear. He had like a motorcycle helmet on. He was flying through the intersection there. I'm like, this guy's going fast.
That makes it kind of interesting, huh?
Still in
Sorry
the
if I'm
box.
swallowing loud here. I just drinking something, and I don't know if it swallowed loud on there. You always get mad at me for breathing during the show.
Oh no,
So-
but lately Greg hasn't been breathing at all. It's me being over technical, and the next thing I know, I said, texted Greg, this should have taken me an hour. It took me 4, and he go, really?
No, I had
His EUC is still in the box. He got it like 3 days ago, I think.
Just too busy. It's a busy man. That's
Cameron's
not-
always busy.
yeah. So you picked up the Bobcat. So you're looking forward to using it?
Yeah, I sharpened the stock set of blades that came on it, and I deburred them. I sharpened them. They're like razor sharp now because all those blades, those 3 blades, were all way out of balance. The Mag 80, the Mag 1000 blade sharpener was like, as soon as I put them on, they were way out of balance. So I deburred them, I sharpened them, and they look good. So,
Hmm.
and praise God for you. You didn't over tighten the blades, putting them on and off, and they popped right off. And it's actually torqued to. Bobcat recommends you torque it to 70 foot-pounds. So that's what I did. I had a wrestling match with I changed the blades on the Cub Cadet, did it, but I had to use the impact to take them off because they were hard to take off. But I put them on with the click torque wrench, and that was fine. But I very love-hate relationship, Greg, with the Cub Cadet. It's like a bad bad marriage.
Yes, and remember what they said over at Burdick Street. Well, I forget what it was, but he said you sell it before you have to replace that.
Yeah, I posted on Facebook today about that Cub Cadet. Like, it's striping great. My brother and my buddy Rocky have used it, and we're gonna live call Rocky one of these shows and get his opinion on it. It'd be really cool to get an opinion on someone who's operated this equipment but is not actually in the business. And so it's striping fine. The cut looks good, but it's leaving that weird line. And I shout out to the Cub Cadet Facebook Pro Series X group. I think it's just the belt's getting a little worn, and I'm losing blade tip speed, I think, on the second spindle or the first one near the discharge. And so people are telling me to like tighten something up there with the tensioner, but it's really weird how they have it all set up down there. It's not like the Multi-Force where they have the PTO belt and then the blade belt or deck belt. It's a little bit different, but knowing me, Greg, I'll try to tighten something and I'll end up making it worse.
So I'd be curious if Rocky and Drew, they've used the Multi-Force, they've used the Cub. Have you let them use the Multi-Force and the Cub? Rocky's used Multi-Force.
Oh yeah.
And then Drew, I don't know if he's used the Multi-Force. I think you said he's been on the Cub.
Yeah, we'll give one tease for it, but we'll hear it from the horse's mouth. I think we'll probably call him on a pre-recorded episode. But Rocky and Drew both concurred. One little teaser: they love they hands down like the Cub Cadet more the Multi-Force, at least with the controls and the ergonomics, because that Multi-Force, Greg, it even the Bobcat's way better. Like the reverse speed is like really slow on the Multi-Force, and I even reached out to Jeff Jones at Toro and I asked him. He goes, "Oh yeah, you can adjust that, but it'll make your max speed slower." I almost thought about doing that. It's like, well, I don't need to be going flying on these lawns. I would rather almost go faster backing up, honestly. Yeah,
well, I'd be curious what these guys think if they've done the Multi-Force and the Cub, and then they jump on the Bobcat, see what they think of that one as well. So, I mean, near as I can tell, the Bobcat's pretty easy. I don't think I've ever really used or moved your Multi-Force. I think I've barely moved your Cub too. It's been a while.
Looked at it.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever. I know I've driven them. I just don't remember anything particular about them.
It's funny. I used to mow in this neighborhood back in. I think it was this. It was the Toro. I think it was. Was it the Toro Z Master? Is that their? Cameron's watching it. Is the Toro Z Master their commercial rider, or is there something above that one? Well, anyways, the Toro Z Master riders, their reverse speed was really fast. It was a neighborhood I was mowing way back there in the day, and these guys, it was funny, Greg. They'd actually, like, their reverse speed was as fast as their forward speed because they would go up and then they would back up the driveway. It was quite the feat to see them flying on these. I think it was a Toro Z Master. It's got to be it. Think people like those. That's maybe it's a Z Master 4000, 25.5 horsepower. Might have been these. Yeah, they're tanks. This one is going for $12,000 right now. It's a 4,000. It's a 52-inch. Wow, $12,000. Oh boy, it's a nice car payment, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Well, the funny part is I bought when I bought my Bobcat, it was about $12,000, and that's more than I've spent on any of my cars.
Well, that's probably a good thing. That means you're smart with your money.
Yeah. Because I think the most expensive vehicle I own is my 3500 for cars, and I paid $9,000 for that.
He says the Ferris Z3 is slow at backing up as well, and the Wright LG is much faster backing up. Yeah, when I demoed the Wright ZK61 for 1 yard, the guy Tony at Pace, which he actually heard of Missouri, we were talking to Jake Segrin, and they had referred me, Jake works for Wright. Anyways, they referred me to Pace because they distribute Wright, Skag, and Ferris. Anyways, Yeah, that right mower, Greg, was awesome. That 40 horsepower, 61 ZK,
Hmm.
big block. I think that was the Vanguard. Man, that thing backed up great. The only thing I thought it was weird though, Greg, was when you adjusted the height of the deck. We had talked about this. The engine would move too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that seems like a lot. Seems like a big load to have to raise and lower.
Yeah, I don't know why they have it set up like that. Because if the we go over uneven lawns and the deck kind of moves when you're
Hmm.
going over that stuff, I can't imagine that being good on the internals of the engine. That could be why they maybe have some problems here and there. I still want to demo saves your belts. Oh, does it? Huh. Never thought about it like that.
Hmm.
Everyone's saying it saves your belts.
How so?
Huh. Probably because it may be able to absorb more. If I had to guess on that, Cameron will tell us it probably absorbs more shocks and stuff. And I think if it's just sitting on a hard surface there, the belts can get jostled around. That's my guess. I never really thought about it. I mean, they call me monk, right? But I was never that OCD with that.
That way the angle is always where it needs to be.
Oh, I didn't know. The more you know, right?
Hmm.
Greg, what's with the Eagles hat?
Well, I had sat down and realized I forgot a hat, and this one happened to be sitting on my desk. So actually, I was trying to sell this on eBay, and
That's funny.
no takers. So I guess I've got an Eagles hat.
Where'd you get it
And
from?
actually, I got it Salvation Army, and I think I paid like $2 for it. And I said, "Yeah, that should be $20 on eBay." So I bought it and didn't sell it. So nobody's offered me $20 for it. So
How was your eBay profile? Have you sold any mower related stuff yet, or no?
oh no, I'm trying to think of the last time I sold anything on eBay. It's been a long time since I've sold anything on eBay. It's probably close to a year now that I've sold on eBay. So
It
excuse
was
me, I'm
funny.
sorry.
I had bought a PodTrack P8 recorder. It was like 200. Remember, Greg? I that was the first. So I upgraded from the P4 to the P8. Didn't like the P8, and eBay lets you just basically return it. I used it for a couple of weeks and then returned it. Like the guy tried to offer me $40 to keep it. I'm like, no. So I filed a case with eBay and I won. So-
Yeah,
but I bought
I
a
bought
lot.
something. I'm sorry.
I like mowing stuff. A lot of blades and oil on eBay. Actually, it's kind of like your into pinch for a spare part. You don't
Yeah,
want to call anyone.
I haven't bought blades in a while. Honestly, I've just been sharpening the ones I have. I've been able to because I have like 20 sets of not 20 sets of blades. I have about 25 blades or so that I sharpen, and I just keep sharpening those, and I haven't had to buy blades in a while. Although I am thinking of buying some Ballards and giving those a try. Just curious. So
I did
don't.
put the Ballard Extreme High Lifts on my Cub. It's to their credit, at least to Ballard's credit on this one. Corey doesn't lie when he says they're pretty thick. Was it some sort of thick carbide? It's some thick titanium some sort of carbide,
Yeah,
tungsten or whatever he said. That's true, and it's the problem is though that belt that those blades are almost too heavy. But the Cub Cadet though, they came with like the stock blades from Cub Cadet, which they're super expensive. They're as heavy, and I think I figured it out, Greg. I was trying to call Weingart today to ask him how much a belt was for the Cub Cadet. Here's what Cub Cadet did. They marked their mower at 11,300, and all their parts are ridiculously expensive. That's why they suck you in. Yep.
that's fun.
Oh yeah.
Like that when that happens.
Oh, he's bad. He said of mulching blades. I bought 6 mulching blades last year, and it cost me $250.
Wow.
Yep.
I think I bought. I'm trying to think what I bought. What I paid for my mulching blades. I think mine were Oregon, and I think I paid for 2 sets, 3 sets, maybe $90 for 3 sets or
And then
4 sets. I don't remember.
Oregon's always been pretty solid. This is a couple years ago, probably probably 7 years ago. They came out with the Oregon blade where it was like the angle all the way down, and everyone hated them. Like they cut like junk. Like instead of like having the wing up like the angle to a point, like they had it run all the way down the blade. and it looked funky. And I put that on my Exmark Laser Z at the time when I had that. It cut like junk.
Hmm.
Terrible. Weingarts took them right back. I cut a handful of lawns of them. I said, "This is terrible," and they're like, "Yeah, we know this is bad." That's
Yeah.
one time they actually took a blade back. You can't return blades. I mean,
No.
I'd be like,
No.
no.
I I'm trying to think of eh, actually, I've got a set of blades I think I got at Weingarts for my 48 inch. I found them and never been used. So I got
Take
to
'em
go
back.
see if they'll take them back.
They probably
So
would.
I think they will because I had another set that I had found after I'd sold the 48. And then for whatever reason, I found this, I took them back to Weingarts and said, gee, I bought these. I don't remember when or anything. And they looked it up and they said, yeah, you got some right here. And so I bought them or I returned them. And then I found another set. So I think they were in
Cameron
the back of my truck.
Cameron
So,
Duncan sent me this picture, Greg. You can't really see it, but that was his blade. It has like 50 hours on it. It's duller than a butter knife, and that corner is pretty rounded off. I would have ran it like I guess perpendicular with the grinder. Because Garrett had kind of showed us
yeah.
you can basically fix any corner now, and you can even do that on yours too. It's like pretty sweet.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that. I've not been the best at it, but I'm trying to do it without overheating the blade. So that's what you
Oh,
got to be careful of.
I got those Bobcat blades pretty hot tonight. But Garrett even also a cool tip on blades. He said it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't have to be straight. It just has to like have a nice corner, like a nice 90-degree corner to it. Like the blade,
Yeah.
it could be I guess ground off more towards like the tip, but as long as that corner is a 90-degree, you're all good. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, worst feeling ever. You ever put on a fresh set or a new set of blades and then immediately hit something? I've been there and I've done that several times.
Yeah. Actually, I had a client that apparently it's one guy that owns a bunch of properties that I cut for him.
Oh yeah.
Well, one of the lawns behind the other lawn, it's for lack of a better word, it's like a field, and they came through there and they cut it and they just left grass everywhere.
Uh-oh.
And my client, whose lawn I was cutting, backs up to that. Or his backyard goes to that where he left grass everywhere, and he says, "Hey, can you chop this up for me?" And I had just put a new set of blades on, and I
No.
said, "Nope, not with a
Yeah.
brand new
Nope.
set of blades on there. I'm not."
Nope.
And so I told him what I would do, and then he couldn't understand why, because the guy had just mowed in there, and as he was walking along, he trips on something, and I said, "That's why," because I don't know what's in here. And so I said, "Well, what I will do is I'll blow all this out for you," and I blew a bunch of it back. So that was the easiest way to do it. And I said, "But I got to charge you. I'm not doing this for free." And he said, "Oh, that's fine." So, but I mean, as I was walking, as I was blowing stuff, there were a bunch of the the little junk trees that they had
Oh,
somehow knocked over. A
yeah,
bunch
those are
of those
bad.
little junk trees that are about 3 inches up and above the ground. And I was going, nah, I'm glad I'm not trying to ride my mower over this.
We,
So
we talked about me being OCD, Greg. I don't think that I could actually get into the overgrown lawn game because you're so prone. That's probably we'd have to talk to Phil about that, but he probably hits stuff. I wouldn't even want to see what Phil's blades look like. That would drive me insane because I mean I'm sure he mows over stuff and like he could possibly even break blades, but now that he has the Ventrax, probably doesn't even matter. But I couldn't do overgrown lawns because I'm too OCD. I'm too like what we're too white glove with the current lawns that we have. I just couldn't work up myself to do it.
yeah, I had my son helping me on the job one time, and he was doing the mulching while I was doing something else while I was doing the cleanup. And I mean, I wasn't that far away from him at all. All of a sudden, he was going over this one spot, and I just grind, just
Oh,
I knew it was a rock, and I turned around, and it was a pretty good sized rock, and I had my mulching blades on there, and I'm going, hmm. And when I got home, I was changing the blades, and sure enough, one of the blades is pretty. It's not terribly bent, but it's bent.
that noise
Yeah.
brings tears to my. Oh yeah, funny thing. Rocky he was mowing our backyard, and we have a little playscape, Greg, for JD. It's a I don't know, it's an inexpensive one. Has a swing set on. It's just basically like a small swing set, and it's got all metal posts. Well,
Hmm.
I told Rocky, hey, watch it mowing around that playscape. Just go kind of wide, and then we can move it, and I'll trim the rest. Well, I'm in the front of my yard near like the chimney, and
Hmm.
all of a sudden I hear a he basically almost severed off a complete part of the pipe on the swing set, and
Well,
I was I had a panic moment. I said, just finish mowing these lawns. He finished mowing. There was hardly any like damage to the blade. And I just took my file and deburred it and good to go. One good thing about that Cub Cadet, maybe the blade tip speed's higher and the blades are thicker. Those thicker blades, man, you can cut through stuff and you'll be okay. I've
yeah.
even hit stuff and it's sharpened my blades before. Where you just like nick something, it's like, oh, I just got a little deburr out of that.
Yeah, that'll work. So what I'm debating about is that I could probably use that. I could probably still use that mulching blade. I'm not sure if
Oh yeah,
because if I'm just mulching leaves, what's it matter, right?
that's probably fine. Like my
Well,
mulching
it could be
blades
out of
aren't the
balance
prettiest.
though.
Yeah,
Oops.
they could be out of balance. I because that's the thing. Like if you get your mulching blades razor sharp, they're gonna be dull in what 2 hours?
Yeah, yeah, probably. That's well, that's where when we were listening to Corey Ballard on Raleigh's show, where he talked about you do the X blades on when
Oh
you're
yeah,
doing your spring and fall cleanups. He said that just turns that stuff to powder. So
I would debate maybe putting the X blades on the Cub Cadet. I'm still paranoid about busting off the spindle. I'm not sure if Cameron Duncan has ever run the X blade setup, but when I did put them on my X Mark Rider, I did have a spindle go, but that could have just been coincidental or just because it does pulverize the grass. But on the riding mowers, Greg, my platform, I was buried in about 10 inches of grass. It was just all sitting up there. Talk about allergies.
hmm. Yeah, well, it was funny because my son just texted me the other day asking about the how the air quality was out here because apparently we're getting a lot of smoke from Canada, some fires
Mm.
going on there. But I said, oh, I didn't think it was that bad. But then I realized my allergies have been bothering me for a week or 2 weeks. It's just been driving me nuts. So so apparently we're in a little more trouble here than we think we are.
Never ran the X blades. Everyone was always afraid how they would ruin the spindle, so I never tried them. Yeah, his theory behind it was it's like a perfect 90-degree or something like that, which I don't know what that.
Yeah.
Who knows what that really means? But he must be okay because he's still selling them, and then people aren't suing him. So I mean, could they
Well,
could they sue him for that?
I don't know. The manufacturer is going to be the one that'll say, well, you know, it's not warranted now because of that. However, I did hear him say, well, if that's the case, just take them off before you bring it into the shop. In other words, he's hiding something. Is he really hiding something or not? I'm not sure. So,
It's a cool setup, but that X blade adapter, you can break those easily. Say you hit something, Greg, like a rock or something. Stop the mower. Check that adapter. It's kind of a cheap piece of metal. Maybe he beefed it up though. But the other product that I mean, we rave about this every other episode. Probably is I do like the Ballard side catch. I've gotten a system down where I can get that thing full every single time. But then you have the nicer version. I'm still mad because you bought yours shortly after mine and they
yeah.
released a new version. I'm like, Greg, why is yours so much nicer? You can go, I don't know.
Yeah, and we didn't and you recommended it to me because you were excited. It was a month after, I think. I don't think it was month, maybe 2 months after you bought yours that I got mine.
Like $400. I think it was like $400.
Yeah, it was ballpark around that with delivery and stuff. It was about $400. But that was funny because I remember putting that thing together, and there was one spot I couldn't quite figure out how to do it, so I'm looking up videos on I'm looking up 2 or 3 different videos on how to put that part on correctly. And I remember one of them where the guy says, "Oh yeah, this is kind of tricky," and he gets in front of the camera while he was putting that on. Well, this is the only
The
thing
part
I'm
that you
here
need to see.
watching this for.
Yeah.
and he's got himself in front of it at the time.
I think I
So
remember when I assembled this side catcher and bale. It took me like 2 hours. It was a really long time.
yeah,
It was
it took a little
difficult.
while to put it together because you
It
get
was like
so many screws.
50,000 screws, and I should have. Cameron would have liked this. I should have used this in impact to impact those screws on there. I think I had a little socket wrench that was just so slow, but they're really small millimeter, about I don't know, not even an inch long, and with washers. The weight, I don't think the instructions were very good.
The instructions weren't very good. That's why I had to watch a video. And mine, somehow the box broke with all the screws. So I was missing, I think,
That's
half the
right.
screws.
And then like you called them and they sent you like immediately, didn't they?
Yeah, they sent them out, but I can't remember if I had to, in the meantime, if I had gone up to the hardware and bought replacement screws. I don't recall how it worked, or if they sent them right away. The did I wait just like another day or two to finish putting it together? But it was stuck sitting in my family room, if that were the case, because I was putting it together in the family room. So didn't want to sit
Oh,
in a cold garage.
we've gotten our money out of that though. I've done several high dollar, close to $1,000 cleanups with the side catch. I mean, I can basically mulch everything up. I think there's only a handful of jobs that I've had to haul away leaves now. Like I'm getting this down. We can powder everything up, and it's actually good for the soil too. It's too bad. I'd like to maybe I can try to do a deal with Toro or reach out to them. I would really like to try their bagger for the multi-force, see how
Hmm.
that is. And then didn't did we've talked about this before, but didn't Ron say that the Bobcat does not have one vacuum system?
The Bobcat has a vacuum
Or
system for the rider,
oh
not for
yeah.
the not currently for the stander. So
Well, we could always tell Ron, hey, we have to see how the vac system for the rider works, and then check it out. I mean, it's probably a pretty good system.
I remember we were at Weingart's. Didn't we see the vac system for the multi-force up there? Or was that what it was? Or
That was
remember that
for the Vertex.
the Vertex? That
That
was
was
pretty
pretty
slick
cool.
looking. That I recall.
They've really beefed that up, and they've made that very expensive.
Yeah.
Oh man, didn't he have a deal though? What was the what was the promo code that he had?
Don't remember
Oh,
for Vertex for the.
real quick, sorry to pivot. So the title of the stream is "Customer Said I'm in the wrong business." Okay, look, totally forgot to even say this, Greg. So mowing today, and yeah, I've been mowing using the dump insert big time. Anyways, mowing along today. Great clients. They feed on a bunch of stray cats. They had a whole bunch of landscaping done. She walks out today and hands me a check, and she goes, "Oh, guess how much the landscaping was?" And I'm like, "I don't know." She goes, $6,500. I'm like, "Oh, wow." And I said, maybe I kind of backed myself into a hole because I said, "Wow." I said, I've never even remotely close to like charge something that much. And she goes, "Oh, you're probably in the wrong business." Then walks away. Like, ouch. It's probably the truth.
Wow. So it's funny how people just say stuff. So
Well, she's a good lady, but that's probably true, Greg. Because I was sitting there twiddling my thumbs, mowing, route density, rate. I guess our margins are better than most, but should I work under a landscaper, try to get that going, get more high dollar jobs, but greater risk, and you can't find people to work, right?
and you got to buy the equipment.
Nope, can't either. So that's one problem.
And that's the thing about some of these guys is, um, know where to tap, knowing where to tap, kind of thing. That story, but it's like us when we mow the lawns. We tell somebody quotes like $50 or whatever it is to cut their lawn, and then they're trying to justify that, and it's well, because I got $50,000 worth of equipment and insurance. That's why. So, just because I mow it in 20 minutes doesn't mean it should cost less. I've still
Oh
got all
yeah.
this equipment that I had to get so that I could do this quickly.
Well, people don't realize speed. I've always felt like clients who I've signed up with over the years, they are potential clients. They always say, "Oh, these guys, they came over, they just whipped in and whipped out. They were in and out in 8 minutes." And people almost seem to think that speed and like being efficient and getting in and like getting out, like they don't like deserve it and earn it, and they want to find somebody who takes more time on their lawn. Isn't that that's probably kind of true?
I think if you do it too quickly, then they get upset. They think they're getting their money. They're being overcharged. I I don't know. I don't slow myself down just so somebody thinks that they're getting their money's worth. But I try to. Although I got to admit, I've been cutting at the cut speed more now than I have
Oh,
on the
holy
transport
smokes! Hey
speed.
guys, Greg's cutting at the cut speed here.
Hello, this is Greg.
Wow.
Hmm. Um, but I'll be honest. The reason why I'm cutting on the cut speed on those lawns is because there's a lot more grass. So I figured, okay, I got to go a
Oh yeah.
little slower, so I'm not having to process too much all at once.
Well, that's that you're preaching the choir.
Yeah.
We'll just answer this question real quick, Cameron, because I saw nasally and I need to shower and go to bed. Any interest for lawn renovations in your area? Lawns look nice because I've sent Cameron some videos. Any lawns that need renovated, smooth out and lay sod. Like
Is
to
he
do like
looking to come up our way and work?
top dress type of stuff, smooth out. I mean, honestly, I've never laid sod. I could figure it out. I at least know with laying sod, you get a sod cutter to do it, but at least make it match the current height of the grass. And some guys patch it in too much. Like I've never laid sod, Greg, but we've seen some pretty bad sod jobs, haven't we?
Oh, that sub where we won't go aerate anymore. The company, you had to use their uh, lawn company to or their landscaper to lay the sod.
Oh,
If you were
really?
going to put sod in, they were the worst. I mean, I've been cutting in that neighborhood for, I don't know, 3 years now, four maybe. But when I first got in there, I was seeing that, and that neighborhood is probably 6, 7, 8 years old.
Oh,
I was
really?
seeing sod lines where the sod, how you join them together. I was still seeing after a couple of years on some of these lawns where the sod was put together. You were still seeing the seams.
Isn't that supposed to fill in?
Yeah, but they were so bad and so poorly done that I was still seeing the seams couple 3 years after they'd laid the sod.
It's like a checker game, right?
It was terrible. I mean, a couple of the lawns I looked at, and when I was quoting some people, I was looking across the street, and I'm looking, and I'm going, what the heck? Who laid that sod? And they said, that's the company we had to use. So they were
I don't
bad.
get why these. Yeah, this is funny you said. I don't get why some of these neighborhoods they contract out like these HOAs or nice neighborhoods, $500,000 homes. They contract really bad landscapers because they're all cheap. Probably it's probably cheap labor.
Mm, I've seen some lawns where there's right where you actually helped when you picked up that mower today, the lawn that you were looking at the diagonal cut of the one that
Yeah.
you were looking at the cut behind them on the opposite side of the channel. There's a lawn over there. That guy's got 150 grand into landscaping. So it's just amazing how much money he put into landscaping over there.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. And it's
Well,
not even that nice a house. So,
people do that. They not nice house, but then some landscape and make it look nice. And you know what's nice, Greg? The shower and the bed, and that's where we're going, guys. Thanks. We will see you in the next one.